My mother-in-law stood up at my son's birthday party and announced to the whole family that she was filing for custody because a widowed father couldn't possibly raise a boy alone, and she'd been building her case for a year without me knowing. My wife, Lena, died when our son, Sam, was 4. Brain aneurysm, no warning. Gone between breakfast and lunch on an ordinary Tuesday. I was 29 and suddenly the only parent of a little boy who kept asking when mommy was coming back. I did what you do. I learned to braid nothing, learned which cup was the only cup, learned to sit on the bathroom floor at 3 a.m. when the nightmares came. We survived. Slowly, we even started to laugh again. Lena's mother, Diane, never forgave me for being the one who lived. To her, I was a placeholder, the man keeping her grandson from the proper home she could give him. She'd show up unannounced and inspect the fridge. She'd ask Sam in front of me whether he was eating real food or just daddy's microwave stuff. I let it slide for 2 years because she was grieving too, and because Sam loved her, and I didn't want to take another person from him. That was my mistake. The birthday party was going fine until Diane tapped her glass. "I have an announcement," she said, and I felt the room tighten. "I've spoken to a lawyer. This child needs a stable home, and a single man working full-time cannot provide one. I'm petitioning for custody, and I have documentation." She actually smiled. "I've been keeping records." I found out what records meant over the next week, and it made me sick. For a year, she'd been quietly building a file. Photos of my messy kitchen, a note about the one time Sam went to school with mismatched socks, a witness statement from a cousin. She'd been texting family members, painting me as a father barely holding on, planting the story so that when she moved, everyone would already believe it. Here's what Diane didn't know. My neighbor, Ruth, a retired family court clerk who'd watched me carry a sleeping salmon from the car 100 times, had noticed Diane photographing my house through the fence months earlier and had mentioned it to me as odd. When the custody thing exploded, Ruth sat me down and said, "She's been at this a while, but custody isn't about a clean kitchen. It's about who actually shows up. Document everything you already do." So I did, and it turned out the truth kept better records than Diane's lies. The school had a file of me at every pickup, every conference, every volunteer day. Sam's pediatrician had years of consistent visits, all under my name. His therapist, who I'd found and paid for after Lena died, had notes on a boy who was healing and who described home as safe. I had a phone full of ordinary Tuesdays, pancakes, science projects, the two of us reading the same dinosaur book for the 400th time. The hearing wasn't close. My lawyer laid it out plainly, then played one thing Diane never expected: her own group chat messages, which a family member sickened by the whole thing had handed over. In them, Diane wasn't worried about Sam's well-being at all. She was furious that Lena's life insurance money had come to me and Sam, and she wrote, in her own words, that getting custody was the only way to get control of what should have been ours. The judge read that line out loud. Then she looked at Diane over her glasses and said the custody claim was not about the child's welfare, but about the mother-in-law's finances, and dismissed it entirely. She granted Diane supervised visitation only, the exact arrangement Diane had tried to force on me. Diane spent a year documenting a father to prove he was failing. Every record she made pointed the other way, and the money she'd been so sure was supposed to be ours bought Sam a college fund she'll never touch. Sam is 8 now. He still sees his grandmother supervised because I won't take her from him even after everything. She's still his mom's mom, but he comes home to me. He always comes home to me. Last week he asked me to braid a friendship bracelet for his best friend, and my clumsy fingers actually managed it. He held it up, grinned, and said, "Mommy would think it's ugly." Then, quieter, "But she'd like that you tried. So tell me, was I wrong to expose a grieving grandmother in open court, or did she choose that ending the day she decided my son was an inheritance with a heartbeat?"